Hello, everybody. This is the Money Boy Podcast with your host, Money Boy. Thank you guys so much for joining today's podcast. This is your host, Roberto Martinez. I'm going to do something I normally never do, and that's doing a podcast about the stock market. But before we get into that, let's do a little disclaimer. The information provided in this podcast is for entertainment and information purposes only. I'm not a licensed financial advisor, and nothing discussed should be considered financial advice. Always do your own research and consult with a qualified financial professional before making any investment or financial decisions. Guys, like I said in this disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor, so please consult with a financial professional. The investments I make it on pure luck, and sometimes they play off, and I've had more luck than I've had bad luck, but I have made some bad investments. Don't get me wrong, I have made some very, very, very poor investments, but again, I'm not a professional. So as you could tell, I've had a lot of luck with AT&T stock, but again, as you could tell, I bought it at $17 a share, and now look at where it's at today. So this is one of prime examples where, if I sell today, I'm making bank. But that doesn't mean that's happened every single time. And this is just prime example to why, when it comes to the stock market, guys, you should consult with a professional. But to me, right now, what's going on in the stock market is absolutely insane. The stock market's going crazy right now. All stocks are pretty much down, besides a few stocks. The telecom right now is literally in crazy. Now, don't get me wrong, the AT&T stock's been up and down. I mean, if you look at it over a week now, as you could tell, it is down. It is down by $1.25 a share. But in general, this is a very stable stock. There's reasons for that. And if you look at all the polls that has been taken over the last 4 years, right? Excuse me. If we look at the poll numbers and everything else, people have taken polls, right? And then polls pretty much have said people would rather pay for their cell phone bill than pay for the electrical bill. Even when the concerns of, they could potentially not have their job anymore, right? Right now, let's be realistic, people are concerned about the economy. I don't have any concerns about the economy. I have very high hopes for the economy. I think the economy is doing very well. Unemployment numbers are doing fantastic. The economy numbers are fantastic. The economy right now is doing absolutely amazing. It's doing better than it ever did, right? Let's be realistic. The unemployment numbers that came out a few days ago are absolutely amazing. It's doing better than what everyone could ever predict, right? Unfortunately, some people have other opinions, and the tariffs right now are hurting the stock market, and that's realistic. Just take a look at the S&P 500. Now, this isn't the exact S&P 500. This is just one of the other. This is the Robinhood version of the S&P 500. So this is just an example. But just look at it, guys. Over the past 3 months, it's down $90. Now, if you take a look at the past week, it is down $43. Guys, I'm telling you right now, if you want to get in, make an investment, and you want to see your investment play off, you should probably buy into this. I know I am for a fact. I'm buying in big time. I'm taking a lot of my savings, which is not much, but I have a savings account. I'm taking all my money out of my savings account, and I'm seriously putting in probably into the S&P 500 blend. And I'm literally going to be making investments into this, and I am highly probably considering it. If it's not the S&P 500, this is another stock that I am personally pretty high on. I don't understand why the investors are low on American Airlines. I personally take a look at American Airlines' current situation, and I have evaluated it, and I personally don't understand why the investors themselves are low on American Airlines. If you take a look at American Airlines' current fleet, right, it is one of the youngest fleets in the industry. And they have one of the largest fleets in the industry. And if you take a look at that and you consider everything, and I understand American Airlines fleet doesn't necessarily have the largest, business class fleet, But they could change that. They could make an investment into that. But the realistic idea is American Airlines necessarily doesn't have to make a large investment into upgrading their fleet because they already have done that. And you see airlines like Delta, they're still running Boeing's 767s. That's an extremely old aircraft, and Delta is still running them on daily flights. And I don't hate Delta. Delta is an amazing airline. But let's take a look at what Delta's stock is currently at, you know? I haven't took a look at it in a while, but let's take a look at Delta. $37 a share. Right? And then you take a look at American Airlines. It doesn't add up to me. And I get it. American Airlines share calls haven't been necessarily the greatest, but neither has Delta's, you know? The American Airlines and Delta's stocks haven't been necessarily the greatest because there has been concerns in the industry. And, you know, there have been concerns, especially now with the tariffs. And I understand there's definitely been a little bit of concerns, but American Airlines stock is definitely going up. I have bought into American Airlines at $11.42 a share. I am increasing my shareholdings this week, especially at this price. I'm definitely putting money into American Airlines, and I am gonna probably make my holdings increase. I currently have, how many shares do I currently hold into American Airlines? Let's check that out. I currently have 41 shares in American Airlines. I want to make that 100 shares. And I truly do, and that's something I'll be working in over the next 3 weeks-ish. I want to get my shares to 100, because I think the potential for American Airlines, I think they're going to go to $30 to $40 a share, if not higher. I think there's potential for that over the next year. Guys, you got to remember, this ain't crypto. The stock market is a long-term game. And when you're making an investment into a stock, yes, you could see overnight growth. But when you talk about a long-term game, when you talk about the stock market, you should be investing into stocks for long-term growth. Guys, this AT&T stock I've held for years. Okay? This was years. This was a long-term investment. I started investing in AT&T in 2020. And that's when the growth started happening. I started taking, I think it was 25 hours a week out of my paycheck. And I started putting that into AT&T. And little by little, I started growing. And not only that, and here's another good thing about taking a look at what companies do. AT&T pays a dividend every single quarter. And every single quarter, they pay out a dividend. And every single quarter, I invest that back into AT&T stock. So every single quarter, I haven't paid no more money in the last 2 years in AT&T stock. And every couple of quarters, I get another share. And so I haven't reinvested AT&T in about 2 years. But every couple of quarters, I have a new share of AT&T, and I haven't put $1 in AT&T personally in literally quarters, literally years. So, guys, be smart with how you do things, because if you plan it out right and invest into the right companies, you can really get gains. Look how much right now my total return in AT&T is $336.43, guys. And let's actually zoom into that. Just to give you a prime example on the potential, you know, my freaking face is in the way. Let me move my face. Hold on. See that? You see that, right? There is potential to make money in this industry, guys. I don't get me wrong. I love crypto, and there's potential to make money in crypto. But the realistic to me is, like, I'm not good when it comes to crypto. I've lost so much money in crypto. But when it comes to the stock market, man, I don't know what it is, but when I look at a stock, especially a stock that is low, I just know how to predict if they're going to do well or not. There's so many companies out there that when their stock gets low, I can just predict, okay, this stock's going to be able to rebound and come back. It was AT&T years ago when it was like $15, $16, $17 a share. I'm like, there is no way in hell AT&T is going to stay at that price point. And here it is today. And I think AT&T still has growth. I think they can reach $35, $40 a share, which is why I haven't sold off here. I think there's still more potential to grow here. So it's like, why am I going to sell when there is more growth here for potential growth? and there's still more potential growth. You come over here, and I understand that this is probably going to look bad right now. $100 a share, guys? Like, guys, $100 a share for NVIDIA. For NVIDIA. Look at this. This is a play that if you guys wanted to get NVIDIA shares, buy now. Buy now, guys. Like, this is crazy. $100 a share. That's a steal. Like, that's not going to stay at that price point forever. Buy in now. Like, I'm telling you. All right, let's take out another company, guys. Let's take out another one. Check out another one. Let's figure out how is Microsoft doing. Okay, so they're doing okay today-wise. Let's see how they're doing over the last week. Okay, so they lost some money. Now, not as big as NVIDIA's, obviously, they dropped, but they dropped about $20 a share, $27 a share. Guys, I would say invest in Microsoft, too. Let's check out how Amazon is doing. Again, guys, remember, this is not financial advice, guys. Just remember that. I'm not a financial advisor, so this is not financial advice. Just remember, this is just for entertainment purposes only. But look at how Amazon's doing over the last week. They definitely have lost quite a bit of money, but they actually have rebound today. Okay. Well, let's be real. Like, a lot of people are scared right now, and the stock market hasn't necessarily done so hot over the last, I don't know, since January. And the shares that have stayed consistent, honestly, I'll be real with you, has been the telecom. Let's take a look at how Verizon is doing. And I'll be honest with you right now, Verizon hasn't done very well. I had stock in Verizon and I sold it. And I put it in crypto and lost it. I know Verizon has stayed pretty consistent too, honestly. It looks like they lost a couple of dollars a share. Yeah, they lost a couple. But honestly, this is better than what the other companies have been doing. Like I said before, people, I don't know what it is, but people don't want to get rid of their cell phones. I don't know why, but people will not get rid of their cell phones. Let's see how T-Mobile's doing. I have said it time and time again, guys. Remember what I said. Remember what I said when it comes to their cell phones. People rather pay for their cell phone bills than their electricity. And, okay, so T-Mobile started at what? $269. I'm telling you right now, and I'm going to tell you this right now. This is one of the most overrated stocks in the stock market today. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't know how AT&T and Verizon is so low while this company right here is so high. I will never understand it. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I look at the numbers and I look at their shareholdings, their earning calls. I look at the numbers. I don't get how T-Mobile is so high, and then you look at Verizon and AT&T, and they're so low. I don't get how T-Mobile is valued at $250 a share almost. I will never understand it. I never got it when they reached $200 a share. I never understood it. If T-Mobile is $248 a share, there is no damn reason why Verizon and AT&T, who is invested in more products and have more of a business holdings or is more spread out and has their customers have more products out there. There is no reason why AT&T Verizon is not more worth more money per share than T-Mobile, because T-Mobile has two products: cellular home internet and frickin' cell phones. That's it. Well, AT&T Verizon sells fiber, cable television. They sell cell phones. They're in so much products, right? And they have so much more customers than just cell phones. While T-Mobile sells one product and they're one business holding, and they're worth $250 a share. I will never understand this. This is one thing I will never understand, how they're on one wireless communication services, right? They're under one company, right? They sell one thing, and they're worth $250 a share, almost, right? I'll never get that, guys. That's one thing I never understood. Never understood it. I always felt like this company was overvalued in the stock market, right? And you have companies like Verizon and AT&T selling at $42 a share and AT&T at $26 a share, which is why I kept on buying in AT&T, because I think there's potential there. And I still believe at $26 a share, there is potential to make more money from AT&T, guys. And again, this is definitely a disclaimer here. I'm gonna make the disclaimer again. The information provided in this podcast is for entertainment and informational purposes only, not a licensed financial advisor, and nothing discussed should be considered financial advice. Always do your own research and consult with a qualified financial professional before making any investments or financial decisions, guys. Always remember that. I love talking about stock market because if there's one thing, I love looking at the stock market and making investments. You know, I like crypto, but I kind of just play with crypto to lose money. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm going to tell you that right now. I bought so many NFTs, right? And I could have spent like $200. I sold 3 stocks, right? And they were worth about $200, right, over last year. I've lost every fucking penny of that $200. I have so many NFTs. I have like 300 NFTs. I can't sell. I can't sell them. They're not worth anything. And so it's like, I'm in a situation where it's like, what am I supposed to do with these NFTs? I can't sell them. So it's like, here I know if I make investments here, I know I'm going to make my money back plus more. Because look at my current portfolio, guys. $1,352.90 in my current portfolio. And I know by me making certain investments, right, I know I could make that back. So, guys, this is where the video is good. We're at 16 minutes and 17 seconds. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed this content, please go down below, hit the follow button, subscribe button, whatever the button is on whatever platform you're watching this on today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Guys, if you haven't already, follow me on all my social media. The socials.moneyboy392.com. I don't know why I forgot to put 392.com, but follow me on all my social media. Socials.moneyboy392.com. Thank you guys so much for being here. Have a great day.